Hi everyone and welcome back to your piano lesson. If you are here for the first time, I am Gianluca Fronda, your piano teacher. If you want to discover about me, you can watch the introduction video of the channel in the description of this video. I'm leaving the link below. And you can also find the link for my artistic channel. Now let's go to our lesson. Today I'm going to talk about one of the trickiest of the topics that we have to definitely discuss and solve during our lessons, especially when attending grades exams. Even though what I'm going to explain today, the sight reading, is something that I suggest to everybody. Especially because we are not doing anymore the solfege or solfeggio, in the way you like to call, or could be called even the spelling of the notes. So it is that fantastic practice that in the past everybody had to do before starting really that fantastic journey, learning the piano or learning any kind of instrument. So the sight reading is indeed the only way we have now, officially, even though you are free to ask to your teacher to do solfeggio. Let's say is the most commonly used, the sight reading. What I see that, especially when I meet new students coming from previous experiences, sometimes I get really well-trained students, sometimes maybe not that much, because there are few things that I see that everybody forget to keep in mind. Let's say the most basic golden rules to respect when starting and when approaching the sight reading. What I'm going to say now is something so obvious that in the past I was skipping, because I thought that maybe repeating obvious things could be really boring and sometimes even annoying. But I'm realizing more and more after many years of experience that the most obvious things are those that are always forgotten. So which ones are these 5 golden rules? 5 for now, they could become 7 at some point, or even more. It's quite simple. Exactly like when we read any language, we start reading from left to right. Obviously I say from left to right, talking about the Western languages. So the obvious thing to do when reading the stave is to start indeed checking from the very first point on the left side of the stave. And which one is the very first point? In the very first point you can find the clefs. Usually you expect treble clef and bass clef, but you know that sometimes could even happen that you find the treble clef even in the low stave, in the lower stave. Then the second step, which one is it? Is the space where you could expect some sharp or some flat. That small part of the left side of the stave that we call key signature, even though we could even call the whole region key signature. But let's say in the middle, in between the clefs and the one that I'm going to explain right now, you will find the key signature, where you might find either sharps or flat or nothing. And obviously we will talk about it in the near future. I'm simply helping you remembering that if there is nothing, we are in the key signature either or of C major or A minor. So the third step is the time signature. Could be for 4, 3/4, 2/4, 3/8, 6/8. I'm mentioning the most used one, the most famous ones. Once you have solved the package, these 3 elements of the left side of the stave, then you start checking the notes. And what do? Obviously you start checking first of all maybe the right hand note, if the first note is in the right hand stave, in the top stave, then the left hand note. But on top of everything, so it's not only anymore about trying to understand which one is the note, if B, G, A, but you have to relate always this note on the stave to one specific, to his own key on the keyboard. Because one of the most common mistake is this. The student gets which one is the note, but then he doesn't know where to play that note. And always refer to the middle C. If, for example, we have, now I don't know why I see B in my mind, yeah? If you find a note on the third line of the right hand stave, of the top stave, the treble clef stave, what do? So you know that one is B? Okay, but this B, where is it? Is it on the right side of the middle C or on the left side? It's quite simple, quite easy. If it's on the third line, it's obviously the first B on the right side of the middle C. It will never be just below the middle C, or let's say in the following octave. So this is what I always say, and I keep repeating. Check which one is the specific key that you have to touch. It's not enough saying, okay, I've got it is B, I've got it is A, G, F, whichever. Now we have to talk about which one is it. And obviously, also check that is not one of the notes that you have to play, we can say now in a simple way black, that is not one of the sharps or the flats that is featured in the key signature. Once you've got the first note, what do you do now? You start checking the rhythm and the notes of the melody. If you're, for example, studying a sight reading for grade 1, you obviously will simply pay attention to the ongoing of the melody. Simply follow the rules. Check the clefs, check the key signature, check the time signature, check the first note, and try to understand what is on the keyboard. Then start following the notes. How can you improve obviously the sight reading will improve after few years with the experience. Require really lots of time. It's not something that with a click everybody can do. Also, pay attention to the way the notes move. Learn how, for example, how are shown the intervals. Learn the language. For example, when you move from one space to another space, or from one line to another line, you have to step by step understand that you are moving by third. You are skipping one note and you are going to the following one. So there is a specific language on the stave. Maybe I will be talking about it in an other tutorial. But for now I think it's more than enough. Study carefully the sight reading. And try to understand the importance of the sight reading. Will help you studying easily. All the pieces that you will study is not only for attending the exams, the sight reading. More you will improve your sight reading, easier will be for you studying in less time any single piece, every single piece. Okay? And then obviously it will be a matter of studying and studying for improving it, but at least the first step, the first stage, the reading of the notes, the understanding and playing simply the notes, rhythm with the finger, right finger, will be easier. Okay? I hope it's enough for today. Feel free to comment as usual. And yeah, if there is any extra question, anything that I forgot to mention, please ask. Thank you very much.